yields back. Recognize the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Rigell, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Secretary Napolitano, welcome back, and thank you for your service. I always try to find where do we have common ground, and let's always agree on that first. And the topic today for me is the 287G task force issue and the defunding of that. When you mentioned earlier that a program might have been in existence for a year and led to only one apprehension, you have my full agreement that that program, at a minimum, should be reviewed and most likely terminated. But the fact that some are being continued would lead me to believe that some of the 287G task force agreements are indeed effective. And so can you agree with me on that, that some are effective because they're being continued?
Well, I would agree that they are relatively effective. I will, however, suggest that secure communities, as we activate it, is more in the end, more effective and cheaper.
I wouldn't dispute that the Safer Communities program is effective, and I'll certainly agree to that. The Commonwealth of Virginia, I have the great privilege of representing the 2nd District of Virginia. I certainly don't speak for the governor, but I know that he and his administration have been very clear on this matter. They have requested it. They had intended to have 24 state troopers who are not just folks, the state troopers who would stop someone at night on the side of the road, but more this was the targeted task force, violent crimes, very violent crimes, drug dealers, rapes, murders, those areas, and they, in their best judgment, believed that, and I do as well, that a 287G task force program would work for them. And so I am expressing my disappointment here, and in the spirit of transparency in government, which I think we both share to the extent possible, we always have to keep some things out of the hands of the bad guys, but I don't think this is one of them. May I see or may the committee members see, if a request is made to your office, the data that supported your decision on this?
Yes, you can see that, and I would also say, with respect to Virginia, that request had been pending for some time, and what we have done in Virginia in the meantime is deploy more ICE agents into the areas where we were told that the task force would primarily be focused on the theory that full-time federal agents would actually be more productive. So I'll be happy to get you briefed up on that as well.
The expenses, thank you for that. The expenses related to running the 287G program, and I know you have a lot of things on your plate, but could you describe for us just generally what those expenses would be and what savings are being realized by the discontinuing that program?
Oh, constant training is a big expense. Travel for training, some overtime in those areas. So that's, they're little buckets. There are buckets, but they add up to a pretty substantial number when you reduce it to a cost per removed individual.
Yet it still is just difficult for me, and I still can't fully reconcile this, and maybe it'll take some additional work here, that a good governor of, for example, the Commonwealth of Virginia is saying, look, we can help you here, a force multiplier, and yet, under the administration, not one 287G task force application has been approved, at least to my knowledge, and it's difficult to reconcile how a force multiplier, just thinking about the value of a highly trained Virginia state trooper, for example, his or her willingness through the direction of the governor to assist and in a key law enforcement area. And here we've turned down that help.
Well, we work a lot with state and local law enforcement, as you know, and I've had several discussions with the governor, although not in the last week, but I've had several in the past about the 287G task force. I just think in conclusion, we believe with making sure you have the right number of full-time federal agents and that We have secure communities turned on, and we just turned on 4 more states last week for secure communities, that is a much more effective way to go and helps us target appropriately the population that we want to prioritize in removal, which are criminal aliens.
I thank you for your testimony and for your service. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. I recognize the gentlelady from upstate New York, Ms. Hochul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm the other half of the tag team, as you recall.